Hello, I'm Robin Henning, and welcome to another Exchange Life Nugget of Truth. This week, I want to expose the lie behind lust. No matter what we're lusting for, the lie is still going to be the same. This will satisfy me. No, it won't. It may be pleasurable, okay? I won't argue that. But it will only leave us wanting more or something else, and it's not going to fill us up. Lust does not fill us up. It actually drains us. It robs us of life. It sucks life out of us and leaves us wanting. What does that mean? It means we're lacking something. It's literally sucking life out of us. But we keep going back for more or something more scintillating, and the enemy wants us to settle for that lust. But the reality is, beloved, we were made for agape love. And agape love fills us and then flows through us. Satisfaction is found only in connecting with God. He is the source of life. He is the source of satisfaction. And that is the last thing Satan wants us to understand. So he convinces us that this lust object over here, this shiny thing, this pleasurable thing, is what's going to make us feel fulfilled and satisfied so that we don't go to God. He is the only one who can satisfy us. And beloved, the result is always going to be attachments or partnerships that are unhealthy for us. And beloved, God longs for us to partner with Him, to attach with Him over everything. Let's pick an easy example, okay? God wants us to partner with Him in our eating. Jesus ate a lot. In fact, most of what you see Him doing in the scriptures is eating with somebody. The first thing we get to do when we get to heaven, when we're raptured out of here, is what? We're having a party, we're eating. So food's a big deal to God. But what Satan wants us to do is to attach to the food, to the sugar, to the carbs. So we're looking to that for pleasure, so we have more and more and more and more. And we're overeating and getting sick and unhealthy. What God wants us to do is attach with Him, to enjoy Him in the process of eating, where we're thankful for His provision, we're aware of His presence. He's establishing our thoughts with, okay, Lord, I'm hungry, so what do you want me to eat? He'll direct you to the right food, to the right amount, and you get to enjoy Him in the process. And it's a beautiful thing because you're connecting with Him and partnering with Him instead of with the food. This also applies in marriage, believe it or not. Okay, most women do not want to be approached by their husbands with lust. They would rather be approached with love. They don't want to be grabbed and groped and told, hey, you got to meet my need because I'm feeling it and I don't care if you are or not, and you got to do what I want you to do in the bedroom no matter what. That's lust, folks. That's a husband coming to consume his wife. You're a tasty treat. You turn me on. I'm feeling like I need this. You're here to meet that need. Your body is mine. And she's like, you're treating me like a piece of meat. You're not loving me. You're not being tender. You're not being kind. Women want to be approached in love, not in lust. They want to see that tenderness, that being cherished, being delighted in, being spoken well to, treated well, caressed, not groped. So if husbands were to choose to partner with the Lord instead of with sex and realize that, attaching with the Lord and Him being your husband enables you to receive His love and pass that love on to their wives, they're able then to have that right perspective and realize that sex is not what's going to satisfy them. Jesus is. Sex is a beautiful thing. It's a pleasurable thing. God made it. Satan's the one that took it and distorted it into this lust thing. So when husbands are tender and kind and treating their wives as Christ loved the church, gave their life for Him, they're sacrificing for her. She knows that He's going to, be that knight in shining armor who's going to sacrifice for her, put her needs ahead of His own. She's going to be much more responsive in the bedroom, much more responsive when He approaches her and says, I love you, I want intimacy. And she's going to say, okay, let's do this. Why? Because she knows she's loved and cherished. She's not being approached as a consumable. Okay, there's a big difference in the bedroom between lust and love. So, beloved, when both partners are having healthy attachments, when the wife is responding because she's connected to the Lord, she's able to love and respect her husband unconditionally, and the husband is attached to the Lord and able to respond to the wife unconditionally, No matter what, he's willing to sacrifice for her, she's willing to sacrifice for him, and they come together and they give themselves to each other. Okay, the two become one flesh. They're not taking from one another, they're giving themselves to one another. That's when intimacy and marriage is so beautiful and exactly what God wants them to experience and express to one another. Okay, they're acting out of their partnership with him and expressing that to one another. And that's when it becomes sweet and beautiful and what God intended it to be. Beloved, think about this. Ask the Lord to show you, what have you partnered with, what have you formed attachments with that are formed out of lust? Okay, is it food? Is it sex? Is it alcohol? Is it the things of this world, having more stuff, having more power, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the boastful pride of life? All of it, same lie. This will satisfy, this will make you feel good, this will make you feel like somebody. No, it won't. Only attaching with the Lord satisfies. So ask the Lord to show you where those unhealthy, ungodly, lust-filled attachments are. And then ask him, what would he give you in exchange? If you partnered with him instead of these things, what would he give you in exchange? Listen, write down what he says. Make that choice to make that exchange, to put off the flesh, to put on what God gives you, to partner with him. Make that declaration in the heavenly realms. Declare it out loud. This is what I need. This is what God's going to do to provide for it. I'm going to partner with him for that need. And I declare it to be so, that all the heavenly realms would know this. It's a union you're forming with Jesus to be your need meter. That's what defeats lust, folks. It's not trying harder to avoid lust. It's partnering with Jesus, finding your satisfaction, your life in him, your love in him. That's what breaks the bondage of lust, folks. And that's when you're going to enter into the fullness of his joy, the fullness of his love, and find true satisfaction for your souls. I hope you'll do that this week. I hope this encourages you. I hope you have a blessed week in Jesus. We'll see you next time.